Hi guys, so the controversy we just discussed a few days back regarding Nobel laureate economist Amartya Sen getting accused of illegally holding on to 13 decimals of land that's worth rupees 43 lakhs near the Visva Bharati University founded by Rabindranath Tagore by the Vice Chancellor himself. That controversy took a very weird and epic turn. The Vice Chancellor ended up accusing of Amartya Sen of not winning the Nobel Prize at all. And this controversy is going on for the last few days, and this is my take on this. But we will get into both sides of the arguments, okay? Honestly. So the right-wingers, the pro-BJP, the Indic wingers, all the actual right-wingers, they are now on Amartya Sen's ass because they have dug up some facts about the Nobel Prize, and they are also saying that, so screw this guy, he has not ever actually won a Nobel Prize, and there is no Nobel Prize in economics in a way. And the leftists who are fans of Amartya Sen, his economics, his political views, they are obviously saying that these stupid screw-ups, they are now making such weird and crazy allegations of Amartya Sen not winning the Nobel Prize. It's such a laughing matter now. So let's get into what are the facts. First, we are going to read an article by bits of the article and some great quotes from other scientists and economists by a person called Angshuman Chakraborty. This is from way back in 2017, and I checked out his Facebook profile. He is an entrepreneur and software engineer of some kind. I don't know if he's famous or not. Maybe I would know him if he was famous, but he has written this article with pretty nice research. So contrary to popular opinion, perception and media reports, Amartya Sen did not win the Nobel Prize because there is no Nobel Prize in economics. Now this sentence itself, that Amartya Sen not winning a Nobel Prize should not make anyone of any political leaning, no matter what kind of economics you believe in, should not make you really happy and amazed and excited at the fact that, okay, see, we hate Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee like I do, and their economics, not them personally, and therefore them not having economics Nobel Prizes is a great thing because I think they are getting this prize for no actual reason, and their policies don't work, their ideas don't work in real life. So this somehow is a good thing. But there is the other side, which is even people like Friedrich Hayek, who is probably Sanjeev Sanyal is the biggest fan of Friedrich Hayek. Even he is a Nobel Prize winner in economics, and when he won the Nobel Prize in his Nobel acceptance speech, he said that us economists have a problem, a disease, that we think we know everything. And he was hated by left-leaning economists forever. Now let's see the rest of the article. Every year a Nobel Prize in economics is awarded, when in fact there is no Nobel Prize. There is only a Sveriges Riksbank Prize in economic sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. That prize, which was invented by the Swedish Central Bank nearly 75 years after Alfred Nobel's death, is an annoyance to the recipients of the 5 actual Nobel Prizes, those scholars from excluded scientific disciplines such as astronomy, and also to the living descendant of the donor, Mr. Peter Nobel, who has denounced it as a PR coup by economists. Okay, so Nobel Prize started in being given out in 1901, and this economics Nobel Prize started in 1968. Okay, let's check out some of the quotes. It's not the statistical models used by economists that is the problem, but because first of all, remember, like I was being asked by a person that why then Abhijit Banerjee is getting the Nobel Prize, because he must know great economics. But remember, they have never actually done a job in the real world. They are actually theorists, and we don't know if their theories work or not, but we actually can broadly describe their theories as neo-communist, socialist, wealth redistribution, tax the rich, etc., which ideas which have always killed every state or country they have gone in. Now, why then they are winning Nobel Prizes in economics? Because they are supposed to be the experts in those fields. But remember, no actual great finance minister of any country who has brought their nation out of poverty, like so many African countries. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore or Indonesia, I forgot. He was a socialist dictator. Then he realized it's not going to work. He became a very market-oriented person. And now that India's GDP has become 5th largest, who from India is winning Nobel Prizes because of helping India achieve these things? No one. It's always theorists. They can sit in their university campuses and argue that dogs have wings and they can fly. And they can teach the students that they can teach their students that, and they will keep on discussing for maybe 50-70 years that dogs have wings and they can fly, and it will be an academic consensus that dogs have wings and they can fly. But it will never matter to anyone, not to them, not to us, that whether dogs can actually fly in the world or not, because we are going to keep funding them for coming up with theories like dogs can have wings. Anyway, let's see what other people are saying. It's not the statistical models that's the problem. The gulf, the divide between the economic view of the world and that of the lived experiences of the general population is often vast. For example, in June 2009, the National Bureau of Economic Research declared that the United States was no longer in a recession, in stark contrast with the felt economic experience of 88% of Americans the following year. This is a very weird sentence construction anyway, but also now let's check out some other articles. This is the opinion of another anonymous blogger called Tyler Durden, who is a fictional character obviously from the movie Fight Club. Now this person has written in a blog that, as someone who rather enjoys voyages of imagination, the use of mathematical models in economics is intriguing. The pretension that through using formal mathematical techniques and process, we can not only accurately understand but accurately predict the result of the changes in the economy, and that is a highly seductive proposition. After all, we can accurately predict the future, right? And this is what Sanjeev Sanyal has always been against. He says, wrong. The wonderful and terrible and confounding thing about our world is that it is a deeply unpredictable place, at least in the economic sphere, where each number, for instance aggregate demand or aggregate supply, in an equation may loosely refer to millions of huge, complex and dynamic events. That's why Sanjeev Sanyal is a complexity theory guy. When you're using huge simplifications to describe reality, those simplifications may miss the important details and your projection may go askew. No wonder these theorist economists always recommend things that kill a country or a society or a nation. And remember, a funny thing had happened when, I think it was in the 1920s, just before cars were invented. So a big international economics conference happened in USA. Economists from all over Europe and USA came there, and they discussed the most pressing agenda of the day, which was cow dung in London, and how their projections models showed that in 10 years, 15 years, entire London will be under horse dung, and horse dung, not cow dung, because of so many horse-drawn carriages. And they gave out predictions, recommendations, all sorts of things. And then few years later, a car was invented, and so horse-drawn carriages went to hell. That's the problem with long-term planning, which is recommended by commie economists. Now let's get into some other viewpoints on this. Now this, interestingly, is a Bangladeshi newspaper, and it's written by Asrar Choudhury also in 2020, long before Amartya Sen controversy came up. And remember, this is the economics Nobel medal that's given. This is not the actual Nobel Prize medal at all. Even this is different. So they are saying, let's debunk a myth. There is no Nobel Prize in economics. In November 27 in 1895, when Alfred Nobel signed his will, he left 5 prizes in alphabetical order to chemistry, literature, peace, physics and physiology or medicine. The Nobel Prize in economics is declared after the Panchapandavas above. It's the most anticipated one, and yet it doesn't exist. The last paragraph is very interesting. They say, the Nobel Prize in economics should be taken with a pinch of salt. Each winner is an authority in their field, that's why they won. However, economics encompasses the 7 shades of a rainbow, and after half a century the prize shows some shades but not all. The true spirit of a Nobel Prize is its contribution to benefit mankind. Why should a Nobel Prize in economics be confined to less than 7 shades of a full rainbow? Very interestingly written article. Here's another viewpoint from a news portal called 538 by Maggie Korsch, and it's from 2016. The economics Nobel isn't really a Nobel. Technically, there is no Nobel Prize in economics. Instead, there is the Bank of Sweden Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. It was first awarded in 1969 and is named not after a person but after the Central Bank of Sweden, the Sveriges Riksbank, which funds it. The Nobel Prize Foundation doesn't pay out the award or choose the winner, though the winner is chosen in accordance with the same principles, same principles used by Nobel Foundation, but it does list the prize on its website along with the Nobel's track winners, etc. Now here's the most important and interesting part of this entire fiasco. This is the nobelprize.org website, and even they are saying this. Just for proof, this is the nobelprize.org. Look what they are saying. They are saying, not a Nobel Prize. The prize in economic sciences is not a Nobel Prize. In 1968, Sveriges Riksbank, Sweden's memory, and it has since been awarded by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences according to the same principles as for the Nobel Prizes that have been awarded since 1901. How can principles apply to soft sciences versus hard sciences without sufficient data, etc.? those other things we'll have to debate amongst ourselves. But whether that's justified enough, whether that's reason enough to go around saying that Amartya Sen did not win a Nobel, that's what I'll come to later according to my thoughts. This is as far as the admission of the Nobel website themselves. They are saying it's not a Nobel Prize, but remember this name, Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, for a particular reason. And this is why. See, who awards which prize, which award committee, which jury selection happens, and who gives out which particular prize, okay? The Nobel Prize in Physics is also given by Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry is also by Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. Economic Sciences also given by Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine is given by Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institute. The Nobel Prize in Literature is given by Swedish Academy, just Swedish Academy, that's not the Royal Swedish Academy. And the Nobel Peace Prize is given by the Norwegian Nobel Committee. And remember that it's pretty hilarious how people win the Nobel Peace Prize, which Narendra Modi seems to be after. Barack Obama won the prize just for becoming the president, for doing no apparent things, and also destroying the society of Libya, where they have actual slavery, even though they are complaining about slavery in their country 24/7, even though African Americans are the most privileged and prosperous black people all across the world. And remember, Donald Trump did not get a Nobel Peace Prize, which he should have absolutely, for the Abraham Accords. And Narendra Modi thinks that he's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. I think that's what he's after. So this is my argument, that there is nothing you are going to gain out of this promoting this argument. You are just going to end up looking like a fool, because they will have the argument of saying that it's given by the same committee. You can argue that, see, their theories don't work in real life. They come up with stuff that only burns the public funding. But you could end up saying that for literature as well, which is what Alfred Nobel left money for. You could argue that for pure mathematics, theoretical physics, everything. But remember, those are also important, because someday someone will come up with one great theory or idea which will change the world. So it should not matter whether you agree with Amartya Sen's economics views, political views, Abhijit Banerjee's views or not. But the fact that Alfred Nobel did not leave the money for economics cannot be used as an argument against calling Amartya Sen a winner of Nobel Prize. Even though it started about 67 years later, this economics prize, we will have to give it its due respect just because it's awarded by the same people. Because the name Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences is who give out these prizes. And I think they will keep giving the prize to these people with neo-commie ideas whose theories don't work in real life. But all you can do is call them out for their bias, not for pretending to be Nobel Prize laureates or pretending to be a Nobel Prize committee. That they are. That is the problem. They are the same people who give out the science Nobels, the hard science Nobel Prize. They are the ones giving out the economics Nobels, and that's why I think any right-winger who is falling into the trap of criticizing Amartya Sen and going around saying that Amartya Sen did not win the Nobel Prize is making a mistake. Pick your battles, choose your battles wisely, because there is so much nuance into this argument. If you don't have the time to get into all this nuance, then go ahead. But just don't go around posting statuses that, no, see, Amartya Sen is a fool and he did not win a Nobel. He did win a Nobel in a way, and he also did not win the Nobel in a way. But if you can't get into the nuances, don't get into it at all. Just avoid this topic, I think.